Welcome back to Hardball. Time for the Politics Fix. Joining me, two experts, Michelle Bernard, who's our analyst here, and Politico's Roger Simon. Roger, is there going to be some bloodletting, some knife work done on Joe Lieberman? I have to tell you, I think there's judgment to be done here, and I think it's hard to say we across the line. If you're going to be a member of a political party, it's one thing to disagree on a couple of big issues, Middle East politics, wars, that's one thing. But when you campaign every day with the other party, and you look at this, and you stand with the other guy when he calls your guy a socialist and trashes your party's nominee every day, does that mean the divorce should be finalized?
No. I think you're right from a political point of view, from Harry Reid's point of view. If you don't have party discipline, why have a party structure at all? But I don't think this is the first message that the new president wants to send, that you have to be a hardline Democrat or you're out. Joe Lieberman can be arrogant. He can be self-righteous.
I think he's likable, but he's
something unknown in our profession.
But he's campaigning with the other side.
He says, I am what you're supposed to be, someone who puts principle ahead of party. When I disagree with the Democrats, I go with the Republicans.
Why have a convention? Why have a primary system if at the end of it all, it's a free-for-all, Michelle? Well, if you can pick any candidate, why have a party selection process?
Well, a lot of people would ask that very question, like Ralph Nader. He doesn't like political parties. Bottom line is we're in this era now where the American public wants something different. People are talking about
by the way, if the Democratic Party nominated Ralph Nader, he'd be happy to run. Very happy to run.
People want to change. People want transpartisan politics. There's an argument to be had that Joe Lieberman put country first in standing by his beliefs, and he's voted with the Democrats more than some Democrats have.
You guys depress me. Why have uniforms if the game doesn't matter?
There are some Democrats who still blame him for 2000 for letting the military votes
let me go back. Let's put your reporter's hat on, Roger, and you, Michelle. Question: will the Democratic caucus, that now has, what, 57, maybe 58 members if Al Franken wins, will they have the stuff to tell Joe Lieberman, you're no longer chairman of Homeland Security. You're going to have a lesser, maybe small business or something more petty. You're not getting the big jobs anymore.
They might.
Are they going to do that?
But, you know, Barack Obama could be really smart and give Joe Lieberman a job in the administration.
That's what I was thinking.
Like Homeland Security, like some national security job.
You are
I was thinking the same thing.
Get him out of the Senate.
Nowhere on God's earth they're going to reward a guy with a major patronage job.
They pick up the seat in Connecticut with a Democrat. You know, we do have elections in this country.
Governor Rell up there, right?
Let the Democrats run and win.
Okay, I'm losing this argument, so I may change the topic. I really like Joe. I personally really like a lot of people in politics I don't agree with. Let me ask you about Rahm Emanuel. I know you're going to disagree with me. I think it's a smart pick. What do you think?
I think it's a smart pick. I mean, I know a lot of people on the right absolutely are going berserk over this, but he is effective, and I think Senator Obama is going to need protection from the far left wing of the Democratic Party right after he's inaugurated.
And he's going to help.
And Rahm Emanuel is going to run a defense, or offense, I should say, for him.
Ever watch his eyes? Look at those eyes. He has the most intent. It's frightening sometimes.
Rambo.
He looks direct. Look at those eyes. They are intent.
Yeah, I'm from Chicago. I'm for all Chicagoans. Rahm will actually be a very powerful and the potential to be a really good chief of staff. You know, in the modern era, the presidential staffs, the White House staff is far more powerful than the cabinet. I mean, we spend a lot of time who's going to be in this job.
It started with Nixon, yeah.
But it's not just a gatekeeper anymore, your chief of staff.
Policy.
It's policy and the implications that policy has on politics, politics has on policy. And that's what Rahm did in the Clinton White House. He gets that nexus between politics and policy. He can talk on both. And he simply is, I never know how to pronounce it, indefatigable. Nobody.
You know what he reminds me of? It reminds me of West Wing, where you have the nice, sort of sunny president, played by Martin Sheen, and you have the serious, I don't know which character you play, maybe the Ron Silver character, one of those characters, you know what I mean? Serious, driven, and pragmatic ramrod.
Effective.
Absolutely.
It gets it done. Ramrod. Anyway, we'll be back with more. I want to talk more about this thing with politics. We're going to finish up the week with some encouraged General Colin Powell, former Secretary of State, to endorse Barack. I'm going to read that to you. Please keep that up there. That's the gravestone of Kareem Rashad Sultan Khan, Corporal, U.S. Army, February 12, 1987, August 6, 2007, Bronze Star, Purple Heart, Operation Iraqi Freedom. There's so much on that tombstone, Roger, and it's obviously his religion, his sort of his cultural background, which is Middle Eastern, and that wonderful woman paying tribute to him in death. And that's apparently what moved General Powell to say we've got to stop this Islamic bashing, even at a time of fear.
And this was a very important point, because this was a point that the Obama campaign was not making, that Colin Powell made for them. The Obama campaign was very concerned to get the truth out, that Barack Obama was not a Muslim, he is a Christian. But Colin Powell, General Powell, took it a step further. He said, that's true, but you know what? There's nothing wrong with being a Muslim. Yeah. They give their lives for America, too, and look at this picture, and it shows you that. And that was a very important point to make. If you're a Muslim American in America and you want to come out of this election thinking there's a future for your children.
There's a lot of Muslims in this country. A lot of people are from the Islamic faith and that background. And a lot of them live in Michigan, a lot of them in New Jersey, and they're all around. But what are your thoughts about that? I thought that was a very... Well, it grabbed me.
I grabbed me. I think it was a very moving and beautiful picture, and it really says to every... I mean, whether you're Muslim or not, you can't help but look at that and remember, whether you are born an American or not, if you die in service to our nation, your blood is no less red or no less American than anyone else.
Let's go to Rolling Stone. This is another Jan Wenner. He's a very big endorser of Barack Obama, I must say. This is from the July 10th issue, a very fetching picture, but, you know, no text. I see that flag pin there?
Yeah, we saw it.
Roger.
And, you know, it's a great picture. I mean, photographers are so talented. This is why still photography will never be outmoded. He doesn't look like the Messiah in that picture. He doesn't look like the chosen one. He's got this sort of goofy grin.
He certainly doesn't look dangerous. Here's July 21st. Obama joined General David Petraeus and Chuck Hagel. He's a Republican senator from Nebraska on a helicopter trip. For some reason, there was a belief, Michelle, that this showed, even though it's casual, a commander-in-chief, a guy out there in the on the front.
It's presidential. He looks presidential. You know, he was sort of proving his military creds, and also he's with Republicans. He is reaching out across the aisle on an issue that people, Democrats and Republicans, have disagreed on.
I think he's not going to salute like Bill Clinton did. I think only if you've served in military life should you ever salute. Anyway, on September 2nd, just days after he was named, she was named McCain's. This is another Jan Wenner, but this I would call a hit. This wasn't so nice. This was captioned, I think unfairly, I'll say that, babies, lies, and scandal. That was the opening picture a lot of people saw in their Safeway and other supermarkets. And here's a cover on the Oregonian newspaper that shows Obama and a sea of people. Just the mass of people here in this picture, I think, is meant to be overwhelming. Roger?
Yeah, and we often forget. I mean, we think these candidates are so used to huge crowds that they don't draw anything.
Ronald Reagan never got over 50,000.
And Barack Obama would cite that crowd. And every politician I've ever interviewed who's run for president has mentioned that the power they draw from the crowds.